What whispered confession in the dead of night could unravel a family's perfect facade and lead to a chilling murder? In the quiet, upscale neighborhood of Cottonwood Heights, Utah, where manicured lawns and million-dollar homes paint a picture of suburban bliss, a dark secret festered behind closed doors. Jennifer Gledhill, a 42-year-old nurse and mother of 3, seemed to live the American dream alongside her husband, Matthew Johnson, a respected 51-year-old Utah National Guardsman and Green Beret. To the outside world, they were the perfect couple. Devoted parents raising their young children, aged 11, 7, and 5, in a home filled with love and stability. Matthew's military comrades called him brilliant, a man you could rely on in the toughest moments, someone who served his country with honor for over a decade. Jennifer, with her warm smile and quiet demeanor, was seen as the ideal military wife, always there for her family, always supportive, or so it seemed. But beneath this polished surface, something sinister was brewing, something that would shatter lives and leave a community reeling. It began with whispers of trouble in their marriage, subtle at first, like cracks in a foundation no one noticed until it was too late. By July 2024, the couple's relationship had deteriorated so badly that Jennifer filed for divorce, setting off a chain of events that would lead to a night of unimaginable horror. What could drive a woman, a mother, to make a choice so cold, so calculated, that it would destroy everything she claimed to hold dear? The answer lies in a secret she thought she could bury forever. The trouble started months before the fateful night, when Jennifer's behavior began to shift in ways that raised eyebrows. Matthew, a man of discipline and loyalty, started spending nights at a National Guard facility, telling friends he felt unsafe at home. His longtime friend, Kevin Thompson, later revealed that Matthew had confided in him, saying the marriage was over, that divorce was the only way out. But Matthew didn't know the full extent of what he was up against. Jennifer wasn't just pulling away, she was living a double life. She had been entangled in a passionate affair with another man, someone who would later become the key to unraveling her chilling crime. This wasn't a fleeting romance. It was an obsession, one that consumed her thoughts and fueled her decisions. On September 19, 2024, just 2 days before the unthinkable, Jennifer showed her lover a loaded Glock 19X, the very gun that belonged to her husband. Was it a warning, a boast, or a glimpse into a plan already forming in her mind? The man thought little of it at the time. After all, firearms weren't unusual in a military household. But prosecutors would later argue that this moment was a chilling preview of what was to come, a calculated step toward murder. The cracks in the Gledhill-Johnson marriage weren't just personal, they were documented in court. In August 2024, Jennifer filed for a temporary protective order against Matthew, claiming she feared for her safety. She submitted videos to prove her case, but the judge saw something different. 3rd District Commissioner Russell Minus watched the footage and noted that Jennifer appeared unafraid, even confrontational, trading barbs with Matthew in a way that showed no clear victim. Her text messages to him were vicious, berating him, belittling him, almost daring him to lash out. On September 16th, the protective order was dismissed, with the judge writing words that now seem eerily prophetic. The conduct of the parties suggests a highly dysfunctional marriage, bringing out the worst in both. Little did anyone know that Jennifer had already decided divorce wasn't enough. She wanted freedom, not just from Matthew, but from the life they'd built together. And she was willing to do anything to get it. What kind of rage, what kind of desperation could push a woman to such a breaking point? The answer would come in a single, irreversible act. On September 20th, 2024, the fragile illusion of the Gledhill-Johnson family shattered. Witnesses later reported hearing a heated argument between the couple that night, the kind that echoed through the walls of their Cottonwood Heights home. Matthew had discovered Jennifer's affair, and the confrontation was explosive. Years of resentment, betrayal, and unspoken pain boiled over. According to Jennifer's own words, Matthew yelled at her, furious that she had been sleeping with another man. But what happened next wasn't a fight. It was a betrayal of the darkest kind. In the early hours of September 21st, as Matthew lay sleeping in their master bedroom, vulnerable and unaware, Jennifer made a choice that would haunt everyone who knew them. She took Matthew's own 9mm Glock, the weapon he trusted, and shot him in the head while he slept. The sound of the gunshot was muffled by the stillness of the night, but its consequences would echo for years. Jennifer didn't stop there. In a chilling display of calculation, she loaded his body into a rooftop storage container, slid it down the stairs of their home, and placed it in the back of her minivan. She smashed his phone to destroy any trace of his final moments, drove his truck to a nearby neighborhood, and abandoned it. Then, with a coldness that defies comprehension, she drove north, burying Matthew's body in a shallow grave at a location she has never revealed. What kind of person could carry out such a methodical plan, erasing a man's life as if it meant nothing? Jennifer's cover-up was meticulous, almost surgical. When she returned home, she set to work erasing every trace of her crime. She bleached the walls, scrubbed the master bedroom with carpet cleaning supplies, and ordered a new mattress to replace the blood-soaked one where Matthew had been killed. The new mattress arrived just 2 days later, on September 24th, as if nothing had happened. She even arranged for their 3 children to stay with her parents that night, ensuring they wouldn't witness the horror unfolding in their home. But Jennifer S.'s biggest mistake wasn't E.T. in the cleanup. It was in who she chose to confide in. On September 22nd, just before midnight, she showed up at her lover's house, bruised and shaken. When he asked about the marks on her body, she casually explained they came from dragging Matthew's body and scrubbing the crime scene. Then, in a moment that would seal her fate, she confessed everything. How she shot her husband, how she disposed of his body, how she thought she'd gotten away with it. Her lover was horrified, hearing the woman he thought he knew speak of murder with an eerie calm. "He wasn't a person anymore," she said, her voice cold, detached, as if Matthew's life had been reduced to an inconvenience. Why would she trust someone with such a damning secret? Did she believe her lover would protect her? Or was she so far gone that she no longer cared? The lover, shaken to his core, did something Jennifer never expected. He began recording their conversations, capturing her chilling words for the world to hear. In one call, when he admitted he was scared of what she'd done, Jennifer's response was bone-chilling. "Wow. If you think I could even hurt a fly. Like he's not a person. He wasn't Matt." She went further, comparing herself to the Queen of Hearts, saying, "I'm like, off with their heads. If we could just round up the scum of this earth and kill them all, I could shape this country back to a good place." The detachment in her voice was unsettling, as if she saw herself as judge, jury, and executioner. She even begged her lover not to see her as a monster, pleading for him to remember who she was before she opened her mouth. But the damage was done. Her lover, unable to live with the weight of her confession, took screenshots of their texts and recorded their calls, building a case against her. On October 2nd, 2024, he contacted the Cottonwood Heights police, handing over evidence that would blow the case wide open. What kind of arrogance made Jennifer think she could confess to murder and walk away unscathed? When police searched the Gledhill Johnson home, they found a scene that screamed guilt. Beneath the new mattress, the carpet was stained with Matthew's blood, confirmed by DNA analysis. Blood was also found on the bed frame slats, exactly where Jennifer said the murder took place. The house reeked of bleach, with reddish-brown spots lingering on the walls and blinds, silent witnesses to her frantic cleanup. Phone records painted an even clearer picture showing Jennifer S. movements on September 21st and 22nd, first to the spot where she abandoned Matthew S. truck, then north to Davis County, where she claimed to have buried his body. but the net was tightening. On October 2nd, armed with the lovers' recordings and the physical evidence, police arrested Jennifer on charges of first-degree murder, obstruction of justice, and more. The investigation didn't stop with her. On October 24th, her parents, Thomas and Rosalie Gledhill, were also arrested for obstruction of justice. Neighbors reported seeing them at Jennifer's house for over 5 hours, despite their claims of a brief visit. Rosalie had purchased the new mattress, and Thomas let slip that he avoided where the incident happened, revealing knowledge of the crime scene. A Glock 19X gun box wrapped in a child's onesie was found in their home, matching the weapon Jennifer showed her lover. How deep did this family's involvement go, and what drove them to help cover up such a heinous act? The search for Matthew Johnson's body has stretched into months, with over 70 searchers scouring northern Utah from Davis to Box Elder County. Volunteers, law enforcement, and Matthew's military brothers have combed the wilderness, desperate to bring him home. A rooftop storage container found floating in water after a storm tested positive for Matthew's blood, adding another piece to the grim puzzle. Yet his body remains lost, hidden in a grave only Jennifer knows. Her 3 children, now in the care of child services, are caught in the wreckage of their mother's actions, their father gone forever, their lives upended by a crime that defies understanding. Matthew's friends, like Green Beret John Hash, are haunted by the betrayal. Having had Jen in our home, breaking bread with them, it's shocking, he said, his voice heavy with grief. The Utah National Guard, where Matthew served with honor, has joined the search, unwilling to let one of their own remain unfound. Why has Jennifer refused to reveal the location of Matthew's body? Is it control, defiance, or something even darker? As Jennifer awaits trial, scheduled for December 8, 2025, the case grows more complex. She's pleaded not guilty to 9 felony charges, including murder, obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and desecration of a human body. Prosecutors argue she's a danger, pointing to her own words. She told her lover she'd de-shoot herself before going to jail. The judge agreed, denying her bail and keeping her locked in Salt Lake County Jail. Adding another layer is Matthew's $500,000 life insurance policy, with Jennifer as the beneficiary. The insurance company, Credential, has asked the court to decide who should receive the money, given her charges. Did greed play a role in her decision to kill, or was it purely about escaping a marriage that had become a prison? The prosecution's theory is chilling in its simplicity. Jennifer killed Matthew to be free of him, to live openly with her lover without the mess of divorce or shared custody. But at what cost? 3 children are now without parents, a family is shattered, and a community is left grappling with the question, how could someone so ordinary commit something so evil? The trial looms, promising to reveal more about the woman who turned a suburban home into a crime scene. Matthew's family clings to hope, pleading for anyone with information to come forward so they can lay him to rest. "We just want to bring Matt home," their victim representative said, voice breaking. The search continues with every lead followed, every clue examined, but the truth remains just out of reach. Somewhere in northern Utah, Matthew Johnson lies in an unmarked grave, a soldier, a father, a man whose life was stolen in the night. Will Jennifer finally break her silence, or will she take her secret to the grave? As the courtroom prepares for a reckoning, one question lingers, heavy and unanswered. How does a mother, a wife, a woman who seemed so normal become a monster capable of such a cold-blooded act? The world watches, waiting for justice, waiting for answers, waiting for the day Matthew Johnson is finally found.